This is Casey Hayner, and this is for my English composition class. My topic is mandatory drug testing of welfare recipients. I think that it's wrong to do this. It generalizes poor people as being lazy or drug addicted, and not only that, but most importantly, it violates the Fourth Amendment right of unreasonable search, and it's unconstitutional. The Fourth Amendment protects us against unreasonable searches and seizures. That's why you need a warrant to be searched, a judge-issued warrant. When these drug tests are given, there's no warrant, it's just everybody has to take one. Or some states do suspicion-based, which means you're pre-screened, and if found suspicious, then given a drug test. And these laws violate the Fourth Amendment right. In February of this year, the 11th Circuit Federal Appeals Court found that the Florida law that requires all applicants of welfare assistance be drug tested. It was found that it is a violation of our Fourth Amendment right because the state was unable to prove enough evidence to say that there is a reason to why these people should be drug tested or searched. Now, many states have been doing suspicion-based drug tests where, to get around that unconstitutional legalization of that law, they do suspicion-based where you're pre-screened first, and if you're found suspicious, then you're given a drug test. A lot, because many states are doing this now, and it's showing that these welfare recipients are no more likely than anybody else to use drugs. And Stephen Uccino talks about it in his article in the New York Times called A Flattering Approach at Denying Public Aid. He talks about it, Oklahoma. He says, and I quote, "In the 7 months after the law took effect in November 2012, Oklahoma officials screened nearly 1,900 applicants, conducted 537 drug tests, and denied 83 people benefits, according to the state's Human Service Department. The testing cost about $80,000. That was from Stephen Uccino's article. And that just shows you that there's no more likely than anybody else to use drugs, and drug testing, even when it's suspicion-based, is a waste of money. And that even wastes more money because everybody wastes just as much money because everybody has to be screened, background checks, they have to take an extra test, and then if they're found suspicious, they have to take a test. So it still generalizes, and that's the next point I'm making, is that these laws generalize poor people as being bad or lazy or addicted to drugs when there's no proof to back up that they're many more likely to use drugs than any other class of, income or anybody else, and they're not. Again, Stephen Uccino in his article, in a flattering approach at denying public aid, he says, and I quote, "In the 4 months testing was allowed in Florida, 108 out of 4,086 cash assistant applicants failed drug testing. The state's outlay, $118,140, says Stephen Uccino. So that's pretty big, thing to show you that there's no reason to believe that they're any more likely. Many states have tried this, and it just shows you that you're not going to find that many people abusing drugs, whether it's suspicion-based or blanket testing, because there's no reason to say that these people are using drugs. Opponents to my view, who are for these laws, say that if they should have to pass drug tests in order to get a job, that welfare recipients should have to pass drug tests in order to collect welfare benefits. Well, there's no law saying that all employers have to drug test you in order to employ you. If there was, it would probably be found unconstitutional, but there isn't, so it cannot really be compared. There's laws making these people take drug tests in order to get welfare assistance. When you can find a job where you don't, not every single job drug tests you, because it's not a law. And when they do that, the state isn't paying for your job to drug test you. Your job's paying for the drug test, and we're wasting these states are wasting thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money on drug testing welfare recipients when there's no evidence to show that there's any more likely, and it's unconstitutional. It's just wrong. They shouldn't be doing it in the first place. So I think it's wrong. It's a waste of money, and these states should stop doing this. It should all be deemed unconstitutional, whether it's suspicion-based or blanket drug testing. It's wrong, and it just makes poor people look bad, and it's unconstitutional. Thanks.